What is up, guys? Bixis here. We're here with a new video series that we're going to be doing. We're going to be discussing anime. Every show we've watched will be added into this marble hat thing, and we're going to talk about should you watch the show or not. Now, this is obviously just our opinion, but we wanted to make a series like this because we've been watching a lot of stuff recently, and we keep running into problems where we're never sure if we should actually watch something. So we want a more in-depth review of stuff to tell you if you think you should watch it or not. Starting off, JoJo's Part 4. A weird one to get first, but just Part 4 will be talking about here, so we'll be talking about this in comparison to all the other parts and the just anime in general. So we've got everybody here today. We're going to be talking about, first up, guys, characters and stuff related to characters. What are your initial thoughts on the cast of JoJo's Part 4 and the characters? What do you think of the characters?
Well, the best character isn't even part of the main cast. I mean, like,
Really?
Whole Horses, I mean, at least they did in the respect of letting them come back.
The tank is stronger than the soldier.
I would
Like,
definitely agree with that.
the main bunch, I think, is, like, in contention for best out of all the parts.
I would definitely agree with that. I was going to make the point of, like, if you're comparing this to JoJo's casts, like, on their own, it's definitely one of my favorites. I think it's arguably one of the best ones. There's a few others that you could get argued to. As in comparison to all other shows, now, it's kind of hard to compare, like, the JoJo's cast to, like, I don't know, like, the Attack on Titan cast, but for what JoJo's is, this cast in Part 4 fits perfectly. But what do you guys think of Josuke as a main character overall?
He's my favorite JoJo.
I would
He's
definitely...
He's
agree
my
with
glorious
that.
king.
Whoever insults my hair will get the full brunt of my fury. I won't stand for that bullshit.
I think overall the characters fit their roles really well. Like, they just kind of push the story along. They fit the art style, etc. Not much else to say about characters. Brody, do you have any points you want to make about the characters? I have one last one I'm going to end off with.
Villain's the best one.
No!
We have a disagreement,
Yeah.
but I was going to say the villain is great. Without spoiling anything, we try to keep these as spoiler-free as possible. The villain is really good in
not
this
as
one.
good as Cars.
Down, 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 down.
Cars is the
Alright, well, I don't know if I agree with that, but you are allowed to feel that way, so you have that take here. But would you agree he's one of the better villains then, at least?
Oh yeah, no, he's the best.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, on to the next part. Story and pacing, these things are combined because for us, bad pacing tends to kill shows. We really struggle with that. And story. Now, story, I'll start off with my point. Story in JoJo's Part 4 is, in my opinion, probably one of the best in JoJo's as well. And across all anime in general, I think story for JoJo's Part 4 is hard to quantify because JoJo's in general is weird. If you've never watched it, it's kind of different. But for exactly what it's supposed to be, which is hard to explain if you've never watched it, I think it's good. I think it's really good. It might be my favorite of the JoJo's Parts stories that are animated. What do you guys think?
I think so. I mean, like, there's not that many loose ends, I feel like. And it all makes sense by the end. Like, nothing's, like, left like, undisclosed.
I think Part 4 is where like he really found his footing on where he wanted to go with the stories.
I agree with that. I think that's
Because
a
Part
huge
3
point.
had like a good start.
Awful.
Very,
no,
very-
no, it's so bad. It's so boring sometimes.
It had an okay start. The mid section was very excruciating sometimes, and it had
Oh,
a
yeah.
very strong finish.
But I think Part 4 is where he really made it fit. Got the point where he was able to get it from start to finish. Everything was good. There was no like
I agree,
lulls
I
in
agree.
4. Because I was gonna say we go to pacing now. Part 4 is where the series pacing fixes itself. Because I feel like 3 had like. Now we'll talk about 3 once it wins a wheel. But for right now, I think like just the jump from 3 to 4, the pacing is leagues better in 4, and it's not even close. Yeah, story and pacing, I'd say for what it is, it's really good. Compared to all shows, it's just, if you've seen JoJo's, you'll probably like this. If you've made it through Part 1, 2, and 3, there's no reason to stop at 4 because it only gets better. Last, or second to last section, animation and visuals. Now, I know JoJo's
That's-
animation is divisive, but what do you guys think? Let's start with you this
I
time.
think it's good. The color rush was a little overused in this part, I feel like. I think Part 3 probably had, like, my favorite art style, But this is a good balance of like them being ridiculously jacked and like
Yeah, I think part
Sick.
4 is like the perfect balance of that.
I would agree.
after part 4, part 5's a little too lacking. Like I don't like that like the side characters look more fit than the main characters sometimes. Like
I think I agree with you on the colors though. Like part 4's color, all that stuff was a little like overdone at times. It is very like yellowy and like bright compared to the other ones. Part 3 I think is definitely one of my favorite visually, like you said, the character. But 4 finds a good balance with the characters not being unrealistically jacked. And honestly, during the fights and stuff, I think 4 does well enough to make it visually appealing.
like 4s are like the standard and stuff is cool. Like they do a good job of displaying the abilities. But like some of the characters like Jotaro and stuff, like it just seems sort of unrealistic that he would go from like being
An action
ridiculously
figure.
jacked to like
Yeah.
super skinny.
It is a little jarring if you're going from, especially because we've been watching it in like a binge format, so like it's very jarring to go from like one to the other. You got anything to add, Brody? I know you didn't say it too much during this part yet.
No.
Okay, let's go on to the final wrap up. Now, this is where we tell you guys our final like thoughts. Do you think if we think you should watch it? We'll give you what we scored it on my anime list and our big list and such, and talk about the final closing thoughts. So you guys can go first on this one. What are your closing thoughts? Do you think that people should watch part 4? Do you think it depends if you like the original 3 parts? Overall closing stuff.
You have to watch it or else I'm gonna kill you.
I agree. I agree.
I would agree that I think it's definitely a watch. Like this was one that I
It is
probably
my
wouldn't
personal
hesitate.
favorite part.
I wouldn't hesitate to watch. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to somebody. Because I would say even if you went through parts 1 and 3 and didn't like them, you should still try 4. Because I was not super sold on part 1, and then part 2 was decent. 3, not to get into too much spoilers when we talk about those. 3 I thought was pretty good, and 4 was when I really think the show takes a big jump to the point where I was really comfortable giving it a way higher score than the original parts. Speaking of that, what we gave it, I believe we gave this show a 9 out of 10. Now we aren't very aggressively low graders, so 9 for us is still pretty high though, because we give it a lot of 8s. So we gave it a 9, and overall, you guys say you should watch it then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go then.
So watch JoJo's Part 4, and obviously that spoils a little bit. You should definitely watch 1, 2, and 3 as well. We'll talk about those in depth when we get there. Stay tuned, because after this, we are going to do a marble race of all of the shows we've ever watched up to this point, and you will see what episode 2 is going to be. And come back for episode 2, because we'll be doing this. I think we've got at least 100 episodes to do, and then we keep adding more. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. Go check out Lost Keys and a few other series we got going on right now. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. What is up, guys? Here we are with the final part of the video. So, at the end of every episode of this new series, we will be doing a spin, if you will, to decide what next week's episode is going to be covering. This is every show we've watched completion, and whoever wins the race will be episode 2. So it'll be
Done
very
something
exciting.
else to completion.
Oh yeah, it'll be exciting to see every week. The show, if you have a show you want us to cover, it'll win. Also, comment down below if you have a show that we haven't watched. It's obviously hard to tell by looking at this, but comment down below if there's an anime you want us to eventually watch. We watch a decent amount, so oh my god.
Oh, and we are starting off with
That's
mass murder.
for-
Oh my god.
Good. Comment down below though if there's a show you guys want us to watch, because if we haven't watched it, we'll give it a shot.
I
run
think
through
another
it,
JoJo part.
then it'll end up getting added to this big, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Hell's Paradise is cooking right now. Story is going good. Summertime Renders in first place. That'd be an interesting one to revisit. A while since we've watched that. Death Parade. Oh my lord. Yeah, another JoJo's part would be funny. Part 4 of JoJo's was a weird one to start off episode 1 with, so it was interesting.
I saw part 2 die though. It was the first one to just die. Oh, part 3 still alive.
July and April is like miles back.
Part 3 and 1 are still alive.
This is looking like maybe a Hell's Paradise, so a lot of different things. This final area is getting crazy. Another cook, Heavenly Delusion flying through the air. Alia, one of the newest ones. Oh shit! They got a new one. We just finished this like what, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
So Alia is going to be our second episode. What a jump, JoJo's to Alia. The top 10 was Alia, Kaiju 8, Zaman Hunter, Death Parade, Summertime Render, ReZero, K-On, Rascal, Hyoka, and Fullmetal Alchemist. A strange lineup. And Caroline, April, and Nier are just like jammed in the back there. They were not winning. So the next episode 2 will be Alia. Let us know if you liked the JoJo's Part 4 coverage. And comment down below if you have a show you want to be added to the list at some point. We'll try to watch it if it looks good, and eventually it'll make it on here. Thank you.